welcome to Above Average. Welcome to our first episode. We're so excited to be here. This has been in the works for so long.
Yes.
We're excited that it's finally happening. We've been working really hard on it.
Yes, and so I'm Nancy.
And I'm Eve. We're going to be your hosts.
And we are excited to just really, offer a safe space for younger girls to inspire, empower, and really just be that outlet for those young girls that we obviously didn't have when we were growing up.
Yeah, supporting women, body confidence, body image issues, all those sort of things.
Mental health
and student athletes. Yeah, so we're just in this podcast, we're going to talk a little bit about ourselves, what we want this podcast to be, and then we're going to answer some of those questions that you guys sent in for us. So let's get started.
Yeah.
Nancy, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so obviously I'm Nancy. I'm 6'10". I'm 27 years old, and I coach at a university. I played basketball. Started off at Oklahoma University, ended up transferring after my freshman year to Rice University, got my bachelor's degree there in kinesiology. And with my COVID year, my head coach got the UW Seattle job, so I moved cross country from Texas to Seattle for 1 year, got a master's there in intercollegiate athletic leadership.
Holy cow.
Yep.
Educated.
Yeah, smart girl. But after that, I just knew my body was not physically able to, play the sport anymore.
Yeah.
And so I asked myself, how can I stay in basketball, obviously without having to play and stress my body out, as taxing as it was. And so I decided to become a graduate assistant at Texas A&M University, where I then got a second master's degree in recreation and youth development.
So tell me, how many degrees and how many masters? Tell me everything. I need the numbers.
I only have 3 total.
Only three?
Only
three. 3 masters?
Only 3.
3 masters.
No, not 3 masters. Psh, I wish. I mean, it's actually funny. One of my professors at Texas A&M, he was amazed at how smart I was and just my drive for learning. I honestly think I'm meant to be in school the rest of my life.
You're one of those people that never leave school.
Exactly. I think that's supposed to be my full-time job, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
But my chair, the department chair, who's also a professor of mine, he was trying to talk me into applying to his PhD program. Now, I'm very flattered, but PhD, doctorate, even medical doctorate degrees,
Dr. Mulkey has a ring to it, though.
I
Let's
appreciate that, but I think the time is up with
school.
And so, he tried to talk me into a PhD, which, I was contemplating, but I just knew deep down, I was like, okay, let me I need to start my career. And right now that is being a coach. And so we will see what comes of that and, play by ear. I love staying in the sport. Obviously, being a coach, that gives me also the opportunity to empower them, inspire them.
It's a very fulfilling job.
Exactly. And so, yeah, that's just a little bit about me regarding my background. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, but I have 2 brothers, one older, one younger.
And how tall are they? Everybody wants to know.
Everybody wants to know. So I'll preface with my mom is 6'7", and my dad 5'10". You guys heard that right? You heard it right.
Height comes from the mom.
Yeah, mom's
and it's
side.
pure height.
It's pure height. It's natural. I have no genetic,
Marfans,
no Marfans or anything.
It's pure height.
Just pure height. And I know some people, Marfans or any kind of, genetic disorder can be looked down on, which it's not bad. It sucks that people have to live with that. But my height is all natural.
Yeah.
And so with that, my brother's heights are natural, so I will say that.
How tall are your brothers?
My older brother, He, I think, is like 31, somewhere there. He's 7 foot. But then my younger brother, he's 26.
And how tall is he?
He's 7'3".
Holy cow. Tallest family in America.
Yeah, I know.
I'm saying that now. I would put money on it.
Yeah, I know. I probably should. I mean, I'm working on the Guinness World Record
yes,
for
you're hearing it here first.
Tallest professional model, so we'll see about
Tallest
that.
model in the world, Miss Nancy Mulkey, taking the crown over.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, it is a very, very tedious process to, you know...
Get it verified.
Yeah. And so it's very tedious and time consuming. So I am working on, one, the world's tallest professional model. But then also, like, I really think I like the tallest family.
Yeah, tallest family in the world.
In the world. The tallest family.
Yeah.
Like, I'm curious
if it is.
Yeah, one, if we like stacked our immediate family together, but then also like stacked my cousins and my aunts and uncles.
Wait, how tall are your aunts and uncles? Or do you have anybody super tall?
So my uncle, he was 7 foot.
Holy
and then
cow.
My aunt was 6'7" too. And then I have 3 cousins. Well, I have 4. 4 cousins. One, actually, she got the short gene.
What is she, like 5'11"?
She's 5'9".
Yeah, but
I think 5'9". Abby, I am sorry if I am shorting you on your height, but she's 5'9". The middle child, Katie, she's 6'3", 6'4".
Holy
and
cow.
Then they have a younger brother who I think he's pushing 7 foot as well.
Oh.
And then
God.
my 4th cousin, my uncle's daughter.
What did they put in your water back in the day? Something was put into your ancestors' water, and y'all just shot up like little weeds.
I think we were just
because like my family, we're tall, but my extended family isn't particularly tall.
Really?
No.
Oh wow.
No.
Yeah. See, that's crazy, but it's also like funny. I have a second cousin who is also like 7'2", 7'3".
Pretty tall family.
Yeah, tall family.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think that's enough about me.
Yeah.
What about you?
My name is Eve. I am 6'6", not as quite as tall as Nancy, but I'm still up there. Don't hate on me. I know I'm not as tall. I just graduated Iowa State with a degree in industrial engineer design.
Y'all hear that? Engineer. I hear the
Women in
word.
STEM.
I'm sorry. I hear the word engineer, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, and I'm
something about a smart
woman.
I don't know. Maybe smart attracts smart. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm getting my second degree in environmental science. I played collegiate volleyball at Creighton for 1 year. Unfortunately, I got injured. We'll talk about that later in the podcast. We have so much to talk about in the podcast. It'll be good. But yeah, my family, like my dad is 6'4", my mom's like 5'11", but my mom has long legs. My dad has a long torso. Put them together, you got me. But my extended family, no, like there's some 6'2", 6'3", but they're all men. Okay. So it's not anything crazy. None of my cousins are anything above like 5'8".
Oh wow.
Females and stuff like that. No, and I would say I have an aunt who's like 5'9". That's probably the tallest other than my family. That's female wise.
I mean, I still feel like they say 5'10". That's like tall for a female.
Yeah, so. But I don't have anything like you're 7 foot, 7'2", 7'3", maybe a 6'3" in there somewhere. No, nothing like that. Yeah, but I do have a brother. He's the same height as I am. I might be a little taller than him. Don't
Are you older or younger than him?
I'm younger. I want to say 25, 26.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's about 4 years older than me. Yeah. But so let's get into what we want this podcast to be. I think Nancy and we talked about this. We went really in depth about how we want this podcast, who we want to market it to, who we want listening. I think anybody can listen. Like it's for everyone. Whoever you are, you're welcome to listen. You're welcome to join our family.
Yep.
But we really want to market this towards younger us's,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Because we didn't have that when we were younger.
Yeah, we didn't have that outlet of other tall girls. Like, I grew up in a very small town in Iowa, and throughout middle school and high school, I was the tallest person in the school, including
same.
students, faculty, staff,
Yep.
all of that. And it's like, I didn't know that there were other people like me.
Yep.
And that was really hard for me growing up. So for the baby Eves and the baby Nancys in the world, this is for you. We want you to know you are not alone. Like, there are others out there. There may be very few.
Yeah.
But we're here, and we're here for you. We want to, like, help you learn how to deal with body confidence.
Yeah.
Just confidence in general, figuring out your place in the world, and just helping other people throughout that process of growing up. And mental health, being an athlete, student athlete, because that's a big deal. Don't even get me started on that.
It's a lot. Like, we literally, y'all, we have so much to talk about. I know.
The ideas are flowing.
Yeah. So if y'all have anything that y'all really want us to touch on, like,
let us know.
Yeah.
We read every single one of you guys' DMs, I promise. We have so many to read through, but we get through all of them.
Yeah, and we will.
Yes.
So
Even if we don't respond or anything, we promise we read it, we appreciate it, all those things. So keep sending in comments, what you want to hear from us, questions that you have. It's really helpful for us because we're not doing this for us, we're doing this for you guys. Yep.
I mean, you said it well, so I can only, snaps to that. You said it well.
Yeah.
But I know you guys are definitely wondering how Eve and I met.
So that's we're going to get into some of the questions you guys asked us. One of the main ones, we probably got this at least 50 times, is how did we meet?
Yeah, how did we meet?
You want to cue in on that, Nance?
Yeah, I can. So we actually model for an agency called Grander Modeling. And that agency signs tall females that are either current or retired, college or professional.
Dare I say,
athletes.
above average women.
Yeah, above average. And I'm not talking about like 5'10", y'all. Like, the shortest person is 6'6".
No, I think it's 6'4", isn't it?
I think it's 6'6".
How tall is an eye?
We'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
But
it's tall.
Yeah. So
it's tall.
Like, with that to say is it's tall. The agency is
it's not just above average height, it's above average athleticism, beauty, all of those different things.
Yeah.
Smarts.
Yeah. So I think what a day, literally to the day.
1 year ago today.
1 year ago today, we met.
Anniversary!
Holla. So that's funny how it all works out, right? So
like,
a year to the day.
It feels like we've known each other for 10 years. The fact that it's 1 year ago is insane.
We've literally gone through so much
in
with each other in 1 year.
No
and
way,
so
it's
that's
1 year ago.
What, like, our bond is just really tight. But all that to say is we signed with Grander. We flew out to LA. I was staying at a different hotel than Eve, so I Ubered to her hotel. And I was sitting in the lobby, and like this, I mean, for average normal height people, like, it wouldn't be small, but I was sitting in for me, a small chair. Eve walks around the corner, and honestly, like, I was surprised at how tall you were.
Really?
Yeah. You think, like, you were surprised at my height. I honestly was surprised at your height.
I need to talk about that.
I had never been around tall women before, and so I was just kind of like caught off guard because I'm like, okay, seriously, she really said, like, is this agency really like legit and
like,
signing
I've never
like
met
tall
like
women?
this.
Yeah, she walked around the corner, and in my mind I was like, holy cow, she actually is tall, and it wasn't just like saying that you're tall. And
so for me it was like first impressions. Like, I was sharing a room with one of the other models. Her name was Nye, and I was taller than her. She was still very tall, but I was taller than her. She was definitely the first genuinely tall woman that I've met. And so that enough was a surprise for me. But the first woman in my life I ever met taller than me was Nancy. And it was in that moment 1 year ago today. And I grew up in a small town in Iowa. Maybe 6'1" is the tallest woman that I'd met before this. Jumping from 6'1" to 6'10", I don't even know what to explain.
You know,
I don't
what's
even know what to
funny?
explain what went through my brain.
Like, it's funny that I, like, when you hear that, like, I was the first.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of have this joke with, like, people in general, and then even when I'm, like, you know, getting out in the dating world, everybody's like, I've never dated a person taller than me, and I'm like, well, I am a lot of people's first, so yeah.
But
it was I was Eve's first.
Yeah, Nancy was my first. You took that away from me, babe.
So
pop that cherry.
Yeah. Oh god.
Oh gosh, it was so. But the environment of the shoot was the excitement and the just pure awe of meeting Nancy for the first time was amazing. But that was just one person, and we get in this Uber and we drive to the studio. I just met a girl taller than me for the first time in my entire life. We walk into a room of 5 or 6 women, all our height or higher. Like, imagine going, that's 0 to 100 so fast.
Real quick.
And I'm just looking at everybody eye to eye around
like,
me.
we actually felt normal.
I don't
like
know.
We were normal
There's
height.
no way to explain the feeling of walking into that studio and just having everybody be the same height.
Yeah.
Except the photographer. It was so
the
funny.
The photographer probably was like she was like 5. Yeah.
5 foot maybe. It was so funny that just the vibe of the room of all these like 6+ women in our 6-inch heels with a 5-foot photographer.
Yeah.
It was hilarious, but she was great. She was amazing. She really helped with like our confidence because we've never been behind the camera before, and she was hyping us up.
Y'all think like being in front of a camera is easy? It actually is
it's
not.
petrifying.
I want you guys to go look at our first, like, our portfolio shots on GM.
Our first shots compared to these
to
new
now.
ones.
Like, go ahead and like when we're gonna
Compare
like
'em.
post our photos that we took for above average. You guys
so
are
much
gonna
more
like
comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, and it took a lot of work. It's not easy. It
Yeah.
definitely takes practicing, because when I first started, they're like, yeah, all you like, you really have to
I
practice
look like a
in
deer
the
in
mirror.
headlights in the first shoot that we ever
Yeah,
did.
you have to practice, and you really do have to practice.
You guys aren't ready. Well, I guess it'll already be out by the time this podcast comes out, but these pictures are phenomenal.
Yeah.
We love them. So excited for them to come out.
But yeah, that's kind of how we met.
That was
and
the
then
first time we met.
we stayed together. I remember after LA, maybe like a couple weeks later, I texted Eve and I was like, Eve.
Well, this rolls into the second question. It was the second question we were going to do is how did we become best friends so quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I texted her 2 weeks later and I was like, Eve, let's go to an all-inclusive. Like, why
It
not?
wasn't even 2 weeks later. We were at the all-inclusive 2 weeks later.
We
Let's be
were.
honest.
So yeah, Eve was all for it. We had a blast. We got really close really fast
With
there.
a lot of the staff and just people we met there.
We need to go back to TRS in the
It was in
Dominican.
Punta Cana. It was awesome. We had so much fun. We met so many people. Shout out Monica and
Eric, Taryn, Taylor,
TNT, so many different people.
RJ, like, y'all are legit.
Anybody we missed, like, we promise we remember all of you, but we had so much fun, met so many people. Like, we need to do a
attracted
part
everybody,
2.
you know,
Yeah,
we
we were
attracted everybody.
celebrities in this freaking resort, because imagine you go down to Punta Cana and everyone is like, no, there's no one like us. We stick out like sore freaking thumbs. Like, it is insane. And we started getting the VIP treatment.
It was actually hilarious. Like, speaking on Taryn and Taylor, they were like,
that's a couple we met there in Punta Cana.
I remember Taryn came to our room because we were just chilling. And Taryn goes, y'all have slippers and a mat next to your bed,
and we
you
had
get
mints and chocolate.
Yeah, you get your beds made like
and
2
bottles
times
of
a
liquor.
day. They were like,
we had
don't get
turn down
that."
service and all that, and they're like, we don't get that. You have to pay like double the price to get all that stuff, and we're like, we didn't do any of that.
No, I know. So if y'all want to go to an all-inclusive with us, I mean, holla at your girls.
You get the good treatment. Man, we were celebrities. But we had so much fun. But granted, we literally met 2 weeks ago. And we just clicked right away. Yeah.
We're in a country that...
Second time ever meeting in person.
Yeah, that is to know. the second time meeting, but
yeah, let's talk about the third time we
the
met.
third time, oh my gosh.
So-
I finally, and we can talk dating
Yeah.
for another podcast, but I had Eve fly down with me because
She had a boy coming over.
I had a boy come down, like-
yeah, Nancy flew me down for this boy because she was nervous and she wanted me there.
for emotional support.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could, like, we'll get
The
into
boy's
the
long
details.
gone.
Yeah,
Boy's
we'll
long
we'll
gone.
talk details. But yeah, she came down. I was having car issues, and so I was renting a car, and we were trying to kill time, so we went
And Nancy,
out of town.
Nancy just comes up with like this, like the Punta Cana was straight.
It was
pulled
like-
that out of a hat.
I think it's like
and
my
then she pulled this
impulsivity.
out of her hat. She said, "Let's go get tattoos."
I do have like an impulsive side.
Third time ever meeting in person, we went and got matching tattoos. Yeah,
so you
matching
see?
tattoos. Yep, for our listeners, not just our watchers, our listeners. What it
You
is.
explain what it is.
We were gonna get 2 straight lines, one slightly taller than the other, and then we're like, okay, we need to spice this up a little bit. So we got these little vines with leaves and flowers on them, skinny little vines, but one of them, again, is slightly taller than the other. It's so cute. I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
This is my first tattoo ever. I swore to myself I would never get tattoos. And then Nancy came along and she's like, let's just go get tattoos. And I was like, you know what? Why not?
You only live once.
YOLO, yeah. So that was the third time.
Third
time we met in
meeting.
person.
Fourth time I went to Iowa.
Yeah. Nancy swears she's never going back to Iowa.
No offense to,
No offense to
The city
people
of
from
Ames.
Iowa. Yeah, city of Ames. Yeah, there's not much to do there.
but I am from Texas, so
Yeah,
y'all
no,
can
we had fun. And
only imagine
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say, is it culture shock? It wasn't like a culture
there's
shock.
no
It was just
culture in
like,
Iowa.
There was like,
Our culture is corn.
it was a small town.
Yeah. Ames is big for Iowa. That is a big city for Iowa.
We gotta look up the population.
It's not gonna be big, but for Iowa, it's big.
for sure.
Yeah, so that was the third time we ever met, and we just hung out that time.
That was the fourth. Iowa was
no
the fourth.
fourth. Yeah, you're right. And then the fifth time
What was
we
the
met
fifth?
is when I came down again, and that was when we came up with the idea for the podcast.
Yep.
And
Oh, yeah.
it was like 3 a.m. and you know those 3 a.m. vibes where you like don't know what you're talking about, and we're just shoving food down our faces. Again, Nancy was like, "Let's start a podcast."
Hey, and if I'm like keeping track record right now, the 3 things that we've done, including this would be the third, like, they weren't bad ideas.
They've all turned out to be good ideas.
Even the tattoos.
Let's be honest, like I love it. I was so scared. I was like peeing my pants. I was
Well,
like,
the
"There's
thing
no
is,
way."
it's like, I'm not gonna have you get some like big tattoo shaded. I'm a very minimalistic girl.
Uh-huh.
So, like, Sunny, my boy,
Her dog.
that's my dog. I got his silhouette. Actually, the same trip we got the matching tattoo.
That was so impulsive too. You're like, wait,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, no, I have been wanting that for like since I was in high school.
I know, but we were literally about to leave, and you're like, actually,
let's do it.
Let's
I'm
do
gonna
one
do
more.
it.
Yeah.
And so he did it. I love it. Sunny's my boy, and then I can talk more about Sunny. He was really there for me,
Yeah.
like going through my mental health issues, and still is. And so me and him, like, we're
Yeah.
locked in for life.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny. I say, like, what am I gonna do when he passes away? Like, I want to keep his ashes, but I feel like just keeping his ashes.
Don't
and
even talk about that. That's so morbid.
I just like, I fear the day that
Everybody
it's
does.
his time to go.
Yeah.
Like, I dread it, but that's my boy. He's been with me through thick and thin. So
Yeah, we love Sunny Bunny. He's awesome.
a
Handsome,
good
bubbly, and
boy.
so man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's a nut, but he's
Yeah.
my nut.
Yeah, I have a dog too. Her name's Chloe, and
Ooh.
Sunny and Chloe have
They got along
met.
so well.
They were best friends.
I will say, Sunny, he is a mutt breed. I got him at the Humane Society. Didn't know what to expect. This was my first pet ever. Got him when he was 4 months old. And then obviously, like, being around me, I'm a female, so
Yeah.
obviously he knows. But he's just very protective of me. And so when Eve came down with Chloe this last time, I was like, I don't know how they're gonna do. I mean, we can try it, y'all. They are actually best friends. Sunny would run upstairs and wait for Chloe and Eve to come
wake up,
down,
yeah.
like, from waking up.
Yeah.
That, like, he was so excited.
Oh, he did his little hops. It
Yeah,
was so
he
cute.
gets little hops, or he'll, like, the way that he shows his, or dogs do show, like, their excitement. I forgot what they call it, where he just goes and grabs a toy and just walks
Brings it up
around
and, like,
everywhere
shows
with
her, yeah,
it,
yeah.
like, his tail's wagging. So, like, he
Yeah.
was so happy to see Eve and Chloe. But all that to say is Sunny, the reason why we were, like, so surprised that Sunny got along with Chloe is because Sunny is just very protective of what's his territory, whatnot.
Yeah, and Chloe's so outgoing.
Yeah.
She loves everybody and everything. So we were a little worried about that dynamic, but they did great.
But they did great. So
Yeah, like mother, like daughter, like mother, like son.
exactly.
Like, they did amazing.
So
Yeah.
but we have pets. Those are our only babies.
Yeah. But that's how we met, how we became such good friends.
And we've stayed locked in
Forever.
since. Yeah. So
Always and forever, baby.
yeah, always. We said we're gonna be each other's maids of honors.
Yep, that's locked in. And if
then-
we're not married in 10 years, we will marry each other and we'll live a long, happy life, adopt a few kids, and yeah. So on that note, thank you for tuning in for our first podcast. We're so happy that you came and listened. Give us feedback. We want to know everything. We want to make this for you guys, like we said before. Yeah, send us DMs, all
Send
that.
us questions, send us your thoughts, feedback, anything.
What
Like,
you wanna
it's
hear
greatly
about us.
appreciated.
Yeah.
And like we said at the beginning, we just want to be here for y'all and tell our stories and our experiences.
Maybe help improve your stories a little bit.
Exactly.
Yep.
So we're just here to support you guys.
Yeah, so-
or you gals. What,
You guys, you gal, everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Yes.
Toodaloo.
See you next time.